Today, I am making a video talking about Deadlock's next big update and how it's probably coming real soon. And I mean real soon as in like within a week, all right? And the reason I say this is a post I saw from Joe Chuck, infamous doorman kidnapper Joe Chuck. I saw this on the Reddit too, but Joe Chuck made a post talking about how Deadlock's experimental branch had 31 changes on the day. Now, if you don't know, the experimental branch is essentially they make changes, they make a new version. So 31 new versions of the game were added, which usually means they added something big and they had to test it and fix it 31 times essentially, or 30 times, right? If they added something. And I pulled up the actual spreadsheet here and you can see the dates we're looking at. Now, actually, maybe I should zoom in a little bit to make it a lot easier to see. So today is the 17th. You can see on my computer it says May 17th, and that's today. So on May 13th, 31 changes. And notice how for the last 2 weeks, no changes have been put on the game. Literally no changes have been made to the game in the last 2 weeks. And the reason there's no changes is probably because they're working on the next big update, right? So the idea is that there's a big update coming. And to prove that this is probably a big update is that here were some balance patches, all right? See all these changes here? These changes were literally made before a big update, or I guess a big update. So you notice April 30th, if we go to April 30th, gameplay update, April 30th, had a bunch of big changes, right? And notice how there's been no changes since that point. There's literally been 0 changes since that very point until today where there's plus 31 or plus 9. Now, because there hasn't been a whole lot of updates, you could maybe say that this is like a balance patch, but I don't think they are doing that. I think they're working on the next big update and then they're balancing the game once that next big update comes out. And so I want to go look at the history of these experimental updates, because if we go back in time and we have the big updates that show up, like this big balance update that came in March, and you see all these changes leading up to it. Look how many changes were going up to that. Here was like little minor patches, minor patches, minor patches, minor patches, minor patches. You see how many changes are made for a big update? So that was considered a big update, kind of, you know, it's kind of a big update. And Old God, New Blood, 13, 13, 8, 10, 14, 21. This is how many changes and versions were made before the big update, all right? And if we look back in time as well, the next one that had a big one was the 6 Heroes, which is essentially like they updated the map a bunch. They changed like the lighting and everything. I'm pretty sure that was when they changed the art style. I could be wrong about this though. I didn't play back then. But this is where they had like Mina, Doorman, Billy, Drifter, Paige. But you can see how many changes were made before that. And so that's why I'm thinking there's no changes. And there's been 31, like I think 12, 5, 9. Like these are a lot of changes, I guess, right? But 31 changes, I think a big update is coming with how many changes were made. Now, we're going to go over my theories of what I think it could possibly be, because I don't think it's going to be as big as like the 6 New Heroes update or Old God's New Blood. It could potentially be, but there hasn't been that many changes. I think just yesterday there were 9 more changes, which now goes up to plus 40 changes. That's a lot of changes if there's not going to be a big update. So I made a few theories of what it could be. One, I think it could be a walker update. It could be an update to the walkers and how they look, because there was a leaked model for replacing the walkers. If we go in the game, right, you're going to notice that this walker, I mean, it works. It might fit the aesthetic, but this is a placeholder objective. This is literally a placeholder objective. This is not what the final look is going to be. And I can only talk about the leaks. I can't post the leaks, but I can talk about the leaks. There was a leaked model of a 3-headed bull, and they lay down. So notice how he's kind of just staying there. A bull will just lay down. You get up, and when you get in range, it'll stand up and start attacking you. So if I go to the walker, he obviously has this attack, which, I mean, for a bull, this could be many different attacks it's doing. But you'll notice when I get too close, watch his animation. He does this big stomp where he goes up and goes bomb. He picks up and goes bomb. The idea that I think behind this stomp animation is, imagine a bull getting up on all its legs and stomping down. That makes much more sense than this 4-legged walker thing. It doesn't quite make that much sense, right? At least I don't think. And I think there's going to be different walkers for the different color lanes. So that has been something that has been leaked in a experimental patch before, but we haven't seen it officially. So it could be a big update for that. That's one of my theories. Another one, which has been also leaked, and people have talked about this one a lot, is of course the jungle update. So if you look at these jungle creeps, you're gonna notice that they had this look of like this eye and this weird thing. And while these aren't bad looking jungle objectives, you'll notice that it's 1, 2, 3. It's these little eye guys. But if I go to a tier 2 camp, it's the exact same thing. They're just a little bit smaller. Like quite literally, they're just smaller. It's the exact same model. It's just the same model, just slightly bigger for each of the tiers. And after that, it's the exact same model. It's quite literally the exact same model. And that's all they're doing. It's really the exact same creature. People have theorized that there's probably going to be a new jungle update. Well, there's for sure going to be a new jungle. They're going to update the jungle creatures for sure. But for each jungle camp on the map, like this one on this rooftop is going to be a unique enemy. Some people have said there's like a plant jungle camp where it's like these plants that will be in a pot. You go up and attack them. They get out of the pot and they start shooting you. But then if I were to go over to the church, there might be another one over here that's like a completely different tier of jungle camp or different enemies essentially in this jungle camp. They even might have different attacks, though I'm not too sure about that. That could be the case. Right now, we only know camps as tier 1 camps, tier 2 and tier 3. It might be more like League of Legends where you'll have like, there's Gromp in the jungle. There's Krugs in the jungle. There's Wolves in the jungle, you know? And you know those camps by those names when you're going for them. So for sure, they're going to update this. And that's what I think is going to happen. So that update could be this update, but it could not be. We don't know yet, just theorizing. And the last theory I have for what this update could really be, if I'm being honest, is the outdated hero design update. So if you look at a character like Grey Talon, you're going to notice that obviously, I mean, he looks fine as a model, but this model that they have for him is not the same model that they're going to end with, because this is a placeholder from Neon Prime, all right? And the shading does help to make it look more in line with the other characters, but you can easily look at a character like Grey Talon, look at his model, the way he's designed, and then if we go look at a character like Abrams, who's an actually a finished model, you're going to notice that he has a much more defined look for what he's going to be and much more in line with the aesthetic that they're building for this game. The characters that need changes are as follows. It's going to be Bebop needs a change. Grey Talon for sure needs one. Holiday needs one. Kelvin needs one. Shiv needs one. Sinclair needs one. Viscus really needs one. And Viper, Warden, and Yamato need one. So this could be an update where they update actual character models. I'm maybe not. Maybe that's more towards the final release if they do a big update. But that's something they have to get to. So that could be the update. Those are my 3 theories for what the update could be. It could be updates to the walkers, updates to the jungle, or the outdated characters. Now, I want to go over lastly what other things need to change before launch. So it could be included in this update, but once the game comes out, these will for sure have been touched, but they're not going to touch these quite yet. Other things I think they need to change is one, the shot poses. We go to a character like Abrams, you're going to notice that he kind of just stands there in his idle pose that if I'm saying here, I'm already in the pose that he usually stands in. Right here, if I'm just staying here, that's what he usually looks like, just standing idly. But if I go to a character, let's say like Victor, you're gonna notice the way he stands and just stands up is not his shop animation. His shop animation has this cool little, like, he's holding his arm and looking out to the side. Celeste isn't just doing her standing idle animation. She has a unique animation while you're in the shop, right? It's all these animations for the shop poses, and I think for sure that is gonna get changed sometime before launch. And I thought it would be this update, but it could be. That would be kind of cool, but probably not. It's probably gonna be closer to launch. Another one people have talked about that needs to be added is a third map objective. So right now you have mid boss and you have earn. In the mid game, you're going for those two. Some people are thinking there might be a new objective for you to go for, kind of like how League has Dragon and they have Baron. So imagine that in Deadlock you could have mid boss, but you could have another objective. Even though I think earn kind of is like a second objective. Obviously it is. It's pretty useful. And if you think of Baron kind of like mid boss in this game, think about how earn is kind of like dragons in League of Legends, where when you kill a dragon in League of Legends, you get permanent buffs, and the earn kind of gives you permanent buffs and souls, so it's kind of like the same thing. So there's already two objectives, but there could be a third objective, and they might add that. I doubt it would be this update if it is, but it could be. No one knows. No one knows the insides of Valve's mind. It could be anything. It just could be anything. With it being a jungle update possibly, they could also update mid-boss, because if we go to mid right now, I mean, obviously in the name, he's called mid-boss. Like, that's not an actual name for an objective. Like, you think League gets Baron, and this, it's literally, the name is mid-boss. It's literally mid boss. He kind of just looks like the jungle camps already, just a bigger version of those jungle camps. Even if it's just a name change, I mean, that's all you would really need is just a name change. But he's not gonna be called mid boss, though they could update the model, I guess. It'd be so easy to add a name to this, so maybe they are gonna change the actual model of the mid boss, but I think this works completely fine. And lastly, I think because the walkers are getting changed, I think the guardians are also going to get completely changed. Now, you could say it's 50 aesthetic because I actually like the guardians. I think they actually look pretty nice. But if you notice the aesthetic of the guardians, you're going to notice it's very similar to the walkers. I mean, they look pretty much identical. They're the same kind of model, same kind of styling. They have this kind of little etching on them that's pretty cool. And same thing with guardians. So if they're guaranteed changing the walkers, I think they're guaranteed changing these guardians too. So that's for sure something that's going to change before launch. And that could be in the update, could not be. We don't know. But that is everything I think this new update could have. It's going to be sick, whatever it is. Hopefully it's not just a bounce patch, because even though I do like the bounce patch, I think it would be cool to have something new to freshen up the gameplay before launch, because I love this game. I'm having fun just improving, and the process is very enjoyable for me. But I think for a lot of people, they might want something new and like different about the game that just spices it up. And it'd be cool to see a new objective and just be like, oh man, remember when these were just, you know, guardians that were just placeholders, and now they look super cool. Like, you know, it's something that could happen. But anyways, that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. I have been DionHyper. That is my theories for this new update could be. I'm excited for it, whatever it's going to be. Even if it's just a balance patch, I'm excited for it. With how many changes were made to it, I think it's pretty much guaranteed gonna be a big update with 31 changes. But if you add all these numbers up for a bounce patch, that kind of adds up to 31. So it could just be a bounce patch, especially with no changes. More theorizing about Deadlock, more updates that are going to be big and be another big update that would be awesome to experience, and more Deadlock next time.